have been working harder than ever at the gym. You have been giving it your absolute all. You have been consistent with eating healthy foods. But you, my friend, have hit a plateau. You feel like you've plateaued at the gym and you want to keep pushing, you want to keep growing. And in this video, I'm going to share with you what I've learned, what I feel like helped me whenever I feel that way, because I definitely have felt that a lot on my journey. And in case you don't feel like watching a full video on this, let me try and sum this up in just 15 seconds. Okay, that may need a little bit more of an explanation, so I brought you guys with me to the gym this morning. Let's go! Wait, hold up. Just give me 60 seconds to give you a little bit of context here. Hitting a plateau is so real. I've experienced that a lot in my life. That's meant different things at different stages of my life, and I think you may be able to relate to some of these. At one stage, that was hitting a plateau with my weight. At other stages, that's been me not being able to see growth at the gym. Either that being from wanting to progress in certain lifts, and continuously pushing myself and lifting heavier and heavier. Even at some points, me feeling like I was getting weaker. At other points, that's been me wanting to get better in cardiovascular shape and wanting to be able to run faster. But maybe you clicked on this video because you are right now feeling like you're going through a plateau, which is what I used to feel like when I was going through this. Yeah, I've plateaued. I've been doing abs every single day this week and I haven't gotten abs yet. If you're feeling that way, I don't necessarily think that's a plateau. And if this is the reason why you clicked on this video, I just want to remind you that when we're trying to do something new, we always need to learn new things. We need to stay consistent for a while. We need to learn as we grow. And so I don't think that you should click away from this video just yet, because I do think that some of the things that I'm going to share with you in this video are really truly going to help you out and maybe even save you some time to help you get there a little bit quicker. We are going to be talking about diet today. We're going to be talking about rest days, but what I want to start with is bringing you guys with me to the gym, because if you've hit a plateau, there are certain things that we can do within our training to just overcome a little bit of those obstacles and keep growing. The first step is a little different than the other ones because this is more about what we can do within our training to gain strength, to overcome that plateau that is making us stagnant and not able to grow. So let's get into it. If you've been following me for a while, you already know that I am a big fan of progressive overload. I'm a big believer of sticking to a workout program for a while. If you feel like you have hit a plateau within that workout program, it may be time to change things up. And there's different ways to do that. Within progressive overload, what you can do is every single week or every second week, see if you can increase the weight just with a little bit. And doing that, you will slowly but surely be gaining more strength and be gaining more muscle. Another great way to do that is do a new rep range. That could either be increasing the rep range week after week, but it could also be going a little bit heavier and doing less reps. And this way you're going to be strengthening your muscles in a different way than you have previously. And just so we're clear, I'm not the one who came up with all of these techniques. I've been listening to so many people's different advice and then just combining all the things together, trying out 100 different methods and then figuring out what works for me. And I would recommend that you do the same for you, that you listen to a lot of different people's advice, not just mine, and then you figure out what actually works for you. Trying out different things, I think, is always the best thing we can do because we're all different. Our brains all work different. Our bodies work different. Because I think I'll have like a certain way of doing things and then I'll think that's the right way. But then I'll try something new and I'll be like, oh, maybe I don't have everything figured out yet. Maybe I should be more open-minded.
Love it how you love me electric, like you do. Love it how you love me electric, always you. Love it how you love me electric.
Changing things up could also be like working out in your restroom if you're used to working out at the gym. That's so lame. But like, I do think we can change things up. If you're used to working out alone at the gym, changing it up with a group class, or maybe trying out a dance class, or trying out whatever sport that you used to love when you were a kid. You know, just changing it up a little bit may spark some fire in you.
It could also be decreasing your rest time in between set, and that may mean that you would need to get off of your phone and actually keep track on an Apple Watch or whatever timer you'd prefer to use. It could also be switching up your cardio routine. Maybe you've been used to doing cardio before weightlifting, and that could potentially be holding you back from giving it your absolute all during your weight training.
Or maybe you never do cardio, and incorporating a little bit of cardio will help you progress in your weight training.
Maybe you have never tried doing cardio before your weightlifting, and maybe you should try it out and see if it gives you that little pump before your workout. And maybe you've been doing the same exercises for so long, and maybe it's time to switch up those exercises and try out some new ones, regardless of how silly they may seem or look. Okay, maybe you want to do a little bit of research before you start. Will Smith made me do it.
But sometimes when we hit a plateau, the last thing that we should be thinking about is moving. I sometimes just need to sit my ass down and rest and just chill. Just like I probably could do here on this lovely chair right here. Just chill. That's sometimes what we need, because our muscles don't grow at the gym. We don't get energized if we don't sleep. Resting can look something like this. No, but for real though, rest is super important. Because if we don't have any of that, eventually we'll just burn out. And I just think it's so important to have both sides. It's important to have balance, and that can be really challenging. But I think that the more we practice, the more we experience and learn and grow on this journey, the better at it we'll get. Resting can also look like something like this. You know, like just going for nice, cute, long walks and stuff like that. Our minds get to relax, our bodies get to just like lightly move. And I do feel like the day after a rest day at the gym, I always am able to give it so much more. If you have a hard time resting, I'm telling you right now, remember that rest is so important. Also just for your well-being. You gotta give yourself some time off. But maybe you clicked on this video because you feel like you haven't been losing the weight that you wanted to, and that feels like a plateau to you. Or maybe you haven't been building the muscle that you want. And when it comes to training, you've been following every single guideline and every single workout program out there, and nothing seems to be working. If that's the case, I think that we need to take a look at your nutrition. I'm not here to sell you on any kind of diet, because I want you to eat whatever you want to eat. But what I do know is that if we want to lose weight, we have to be in a caloric deficit. If we want to gain weight, we have to be in a caloric surplus. I do not track my macros anymore, but I used to, and when I did that, I realized that I was eating a lot more calories than I thought I was taking in. So for you, if you haven't been losing weight, you may want to look online, find a calculator, calculate an estimate of what you need, and then keep track and adjust as you go. And it may surprise you that you're taking in more calories than you maybe thought you were. And if you want to gain weight, are you taking in enough calories? And that's maybe something that you want to track. But maybe you don't feel like tracking. And if that's something you don't feel like, do not do it. Maybe you eat ice cream every night and you're like, you know what? Actually, instead, I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna try and say no to the ice cream on the weekdays, and then I can have the ice cream on the weekends. Whatever really works for you. There's no right or wrong way to do it. Maybe there's like small tweaks here and there that you can do that can actually help you get in that caloric surplus or in that caloric deficit, depending on what your goals are that you feel that you've been stuck at.
At one point in my life, I had just lost weight. I was scared of gaining back weight, but I wanted to build muscle. Unfortunately, I wasn't eating enough calories for me to gain that muscle. So I hit a plateau because I simply was afraid of gaining weight. If this is something you're going through, I'm really hoping that this opens your eyes and reminds you that your muscles need fuel to grow. And just remembering to fuel your body in a way that makes it feel at its absolute best.
Wow, look at that! I just made some chicken. Protein is gonna help you out a lot. I cannot say this enough. I've upped my protein a lot. That's helped me build more muscle. So just make sure to get your protein intake. A rule of thumb for people who do work out, who do try to build muscle with some weight training, is getting between 0.8 to 1.2-ish grams of protein per pound of lean body mass per day. And as we're talking about the importance of protein, I think it's time for a protein snack. And I just found these grills out here, and I'm wondering if there's any good protein sources in here that I could find. What? The Built Bar? That's even better than I could have imagined. What a freaking coincidence. Built Bar is actually the sponsors of this video. How crazy. The best protein snack I could have found. Lucky me. Seriously, it's actually so good. And this one, I think, is probably one of my favorites, if not my favorite. Each bar has 130 calories, 17 grams of protein. That is absolutely insane. That's like the same amount of protein as a regular protein bar, but probably half the calories. And I know a lot of you guys watch my recipe videos. You're trying to find different meals, different snacks, different desserts that are low in calories and high in protein. And that's why I decided to partner up with Built Bar for a couple of my videos, because I really think that they are exactly that. Plus, they're super, super delicious. It is definitely a winner. And then there's, of course, getting enough nutrients throughout your day to have fuel for your workouts, to feel more energized and just good within. And so a little whole foods, a little green will come a long way with that.
I ate so many carbs yesterday, and today I hit a PR, and I am so happy.
Have you been eating any carbs lately? Because if you haven't, that might be why you haven't seen any progress at the gym.
Regular rice. Why is that so good? I don't know. But the absolute best way for me to overcome a plateau is all of the things that we already talked about, but getting motivated. And for me, that looks like researching and looking and listening to and getting inspired by the people who deeply motivate me. People who have gone through really, really challenging things, who've overcome obstacles on their way, who push through those times where it's really, really challenging. That is what fires me up. I think if you've watched my channel for a while, you already know this, but it's like listening to the people who don't let these plateaus stop us. And sometimes that means taking a rest day, taking 2 rest days, maybe a full week off where you deload, but then coming back strong. There's so many incredible humans out there who've overcome these obstacles. And if you just do a little bit of research on these people, read their books, listen to their YouTube videos where they do their speeches, I think it gets a lot easier to overcome that plateau, because our mind is so freaking incredible. When we think about the times where we've really overcome something that has been really challenging in our life, hasn't that been because we've gotten so motivated because of some goal, because of something we wanted to achieve? Like, something has motivated us to actually push that step further. And sometimes it takes us months, maybe years, to actually get to that point where we're like, okay, now's the time. But when we get there, motivation's freaking awesome, isn't it?
And seriously, that thing that people keep talking about, getting enough water throughout the day, actually is so important for your overall energy and how much food you intake throughout the day. For the most part, when we think we're hungry, actually, our body's just dehydrated. We need some more water. So, a little extra tip for you there.
You and your status, walking like that.
I really hope that some of the tips that I shared with you that have helped me today could maybe possibly help you. There's absolutely no right or wrong ways to do things. I just think it's about experimenting with our own body. We're all so different. Every body is different. Every mind is different. And so what works for you may not work for me. What may work for me may not work for you. You know, there's no right or wrong. And all we can do is try and learn as we go. Take in what resonates with you and just let anything else that doesn't resonate with you, just let that go away. I just wanted to share my thoughts, and I hope you liked it. I hope there was at least one useful tip that you're willing to go out and try right now if you feel like you've hit a plateau and you really want to get out of it. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate you being here. Please give me a thumbs up if you like this video. Hit me with a subscribe. Hit that subscribe button. Ring that little notification bell, and I will see you again very soon. Bye.